Thank you for clicking on this video. If you're new here, my name is Megan and I make fantasy art and costumes of all kinds. Today's video is part 2 of this costume I made, and I'm going to be making a menswear version for my partner so that we can match at the Ren Fair together. So without wasting any time, here is the design. I haven't actually drawn it yet, but it'll be on screen. It's going to include a doublet in this exact same teal fabric and a pirate hat to match my escoffion. If you'd like to watch part 1 of this project, then it'll be linked at the end of the video, or you could watch it now. I don't care. Anyway, here's the pattern I have. I made this pattern for him with his measurements. There's not much to say about it. I had a doublet pattern I was using from Etsy, but I honestly don't like it very much, and it only came in size medium, and it was a $20 PDF pattern, which I think is incredibly steep for a pattern that only comes in one size. So I don't recommend buying it, and I will not be linking it below because I don't recommend it. I made this one, I kind of eyeballed it while he stood there, and this is the back, but it's also the front because you can fold it in half. So the doublet will be extremely more easier than the women's wear version because there's no boning, there's very little pattern pieces, and in general menswear I think is just a lot easier most of the time. I'm gonna cut out 2 front pieces that look like this, 1 big back piece that looks like this, and then the front of the doublet has some little flappies. This one goes in the front on either side, and then there's going to be 4 of these that go around the rest of the bottom, and then it has a little arc that goes over the shoulder like that, just like this dress has. So that will match. And then the pirate hat, I've never made a hat like that before, but I can't imagine it's that difficult. I'm going to be using the pattern I have to make a witch hat and just not making it pointy, and then you just fold up those sides and put a feather in it, and there you go, you're a pirate. So let's get to cutting out this hoe. So I traced the front pattern, but it's gonna fold over like this to create a little lapel. So I extended it a little bit so it can fold over like this, and then when the lapel folds over, it has the same fabric on it. So now that my pieces are cut out, I'm gonna attach them all together, and I'm gonna attach all of my fashion fabric side, that's the teal, and all of my tan fabric side together. Okay guys, I messed up. So in my original design, this is probably because I didn't draw the thing. I was thinking I was gonna have the sides lace up, and then I totally forgot about it. What I have to do is seam rip what I just did, and then I'm gonna be sewing the liners directly to the pieces. I'm gonna take my liner fabric and my fashion fabric pieces, the corresponding ones of each side, and sew them together wrong sides out all the way around like a pillowcase, and then turn them inside out, and I will be attaching them, the front sides to the back sides, with a lace-up side. So this is the front and this is the back, and I'm going to join them together at the shoulder right now by putting a straight stitch across. So this is what it looks like right now. I've done this side already, but I put this band of gimp all the way from the front bottom edge to the back bottom edge, and I really like the way that looks because it doesn't cut off at the shoulder. It just continues all the way down. I think that looks very clean. So I'm going to do that on this side as well, and I'm going to mark from where this yellow line meets. I'm going to draw a line from there down to like 5 inches across down here to guide where I'm going to be putting that gimp. And then I think that'll be the end of the main decoration. And then I'll be adding the little sleeve flaps and the bottom flaps. And then the final thing I'll ever do is put grommets here and connect both halves of the vest together. That will make it adjustable and breathable on the sides. So now that the main body of the piece is done, I'm going to start cutting out all the details. So I have the little arm detail here, and I did cut it down a little bit. I feel like they maybe are still a little bit large now, but it's not quite so crazy. So I'm gonna settle on this size. When I showed them to my partner, he was like, well, but what if it did have big funny shoulders? And I was like, that is gonna look fucking crazy. You cannot have that. I'm not making that for you. And I feel like they are a little bit still absurdly large. So I have to put the little things on the shoulder. I'm gonna get to that. But I wanted to add the little hardware real quick, and this is a detail that is truly elite. So I have these little clips. They're very cute. They're in antique bronze. And I had an idea that is actually genius because my partner is actually left-handed. So I'm gonna add the hook side of these So it will attach from the left side, so it makes sense for him specifically because I have the biggest brain ever made. So normally for a right-handed person, I'd put them like this side being the hook, but I'm actually gonna put them like this. And they're gonna go all the way down. I only have 3. I don't think more than 3 is necessary anyway, but they're gonna fit, I think, probably just like this. And all I'm gonna do is take some green thread and hand sew these on, probably finish with a tiny bit of glue to make sure they're extra secure, maybe some E600, and then I'll be putting these little flappies on the arms, and then that will be it for this piece. So I put the, what is it, B700, B7000 on all of the clips, and then they were drying overnight, so I had these heavy things on top of them to hold them down while they're drying, but they seem to be pretty secure now. I'm pretty jazzed that I finished this in one day. That's very awesome. So now I just have to finally attach these. I know I've been edging you guys by not attaching these this whole time, so I'm gonna get to doing that, and I'm gonna put this same trim along the edge, this gimp here, and I'm gonna attach those, and then this will be done. I put yellow laces on, but I don't think they're eating, so I think I'm gonna switch to brown. I just have to get some, but otherwise this turned out really well. My partner's gonna come over today and I'm gonna have him try it on. That'll be good, but I don't foresee it having any issues because it fits well enough on me, and he's kind of just like me but wider. Oh, spin in a circle. So I don't think that these look too weird, and so I'm gonna put them on. And I thought I was gonna give you a O'Hare shoulder, but it's actually normal. So I have the pattern that I used to make witch hats, which I think should be fine, except for I need to change the head size a tiny bit. And so I'm going to cut out 2 big circles out of this, and then I'm going to figure out how to make a cap for the main part. And I think I'm going to probably make a long strip like this, and then 2 like half circles for the sides, because when the hat is flipped up, you won't be able to see it anyway, so I think that that will be fine. And then I think I'm going to use some heavy interfacing to kind of give some form to the hat, to the head hat area, and that will be good. So I'm going to sew the interfacing to this middle piece, and that's going to go on the inside, and then this piece is going to go on the outside, so you won't see these seams when it's being worn. And so I'm going to sew 2 full pieces of the hat, the inner and outer, and then put them together with the brim. I honestly am not very happy with what this looks like. It's kind of giving like hammerhead shark or something. I don't know, some kind of fish. It's like too bulbous right here. I think I'm gonna have to redesign how I do it before I get too far in. I like this kind of structure to maybe use for an escoffion in the future, like with the interfacing like this, but it's just not working for the head shape I'm looking for. Also, I think it's too small. So I think I'm gonna have to go back to the drawing board. I might use this piece to make an escoffion, but I'm gonna have to think of something else. So I've looked at some pictures now, and I think I'm gonna do it this way, where it's a circle on top and then a wide band around the sides instead of going over the top. So I'm gonna go back to the cutting board, cut that out, and then come back here. So I have 2 sets of circles and 2 sets of bands, and I'm gonna sew them together separately as an inner and outer layer directly to the circles. This is what it looks like. It's definitely too long, but I think the size is pretty good. I'm just gonna have to probably cut it like right here. I'm gonna cut it like right there. Yeah, that should be a good length, I think. I'm planning on making a blueberry muffin cosplay for this Halloween. She kind of has a hat that looks like this, and then it actually won't be too tall because her hat is like that tall. I also sewed in a band inside the lining layer as well, because that'll give it some stiffness, but it'll still maintain its general shape. So I've got the brim right here, and I'm gonna sew it separately in pieces, the liner and the fashion side. Although they're the same, I'm gonna sew them separately and then combine them, and that will prevent there from being any rough seams on the inside. So this is what it's looking like. So it's actually too big for me, which is a good thing, because his head is bigger than mine. So I'm gonna put a couple stitches through and put some little fabric fusion glue on my stitches to keep them secure. And I'm gonna fold it like this, very piratey, and then I'm gonna wait. He's coming over later, so I'm gonna wait for him to try on the fit before I decorated it all. So I'll just wait for him to try this on later, and then if that works out, I will be decorating it. And then that'll be the end of the video. Kind of a shorty, but we'll do the reveal and the critique, and that'll be it. Stop making that face right now. You know, quit laughing. This isn't funny.
My face, bro.
So the young gentleman has tried it on, and this fits really good. I don't have any notes. I am off the eddy right now, but that is the best time to be crafting. So what I'm gonna do is take some of this gimp trim that's on all of these edges, and I'm gonna cover all of the edges of the hat in it, and then I'm gonna do some visible mending on the inside, because when he put it on, it was too small, so we had to make a vertical cut here, and then it fit perfectly. So I'm just gonna kind of stretch it and then put the patch on, and that'll cover that up. And for the future, I'll just make his damn hats bigger. Then I have some feathers. I didn't want to use these feathers. I had different ones, but now I can't find them. So I'm gonna have to hunt them down, but I'm just gonna stick some feathers in there like that, and that will be the end of the hat. Hello all, welcome to the critique. I had this stuff on because I was filming some other stuff, and I thought, why take it off? Today we're going to be critiquing our lovely doublet. We're going to be doing our normal criteria, which is going to be visual appeal, function, cost, craftsmanship, and composition. For this costume, I think it looks pretty good. I'm gonna take some points off because I don't have an orange shirt for it. Hopefully we can commandeer one at the fair this year, or maybe from Holy Clothing. I don't really like the men's shirt from Holy Clothing. I think the fit is kind of weird, like for him specifically, and the brand that we really like is Time Traveler, but they don't have orange, so I would have to buy a plain linen one. Visual appeal, I'll say 5 out of 10. It's quite striking, and I think it's better than the average Ren Fair attire that I see, but 5 out of 10 for my standards. I think it is pretty functional because it's lightweight. The sides lace up for extra ventilation when you know it gets hot out there at the fair. It's pretty durable and stuff, so for function I'll say 7 out of 10. It doesn't have to do anything except be a shirt, and the hat be's a hat. Cost, I'd say medium cost effectiveness. This fabric was a little bit pricey. I'll say like 5 out of 10, 50%. The little hardware cost a little bit of money, and I try to make my costumes cost 0 if I can get away with it. So by those standards, I'll do 5 out of 10. Craftsmanship, ruh-roh guys, I hate to show you what the inside of this hoe looks like. I think it really is lacking where the flaps attach here at the bottom. I've gone and serged the edges at the top and then just sewn them in, but it's very uneven, and it's like the angles were weird, so it's attached kind of irregularly. And I personally, if I was selling this, I would not sell it in this condition, not to mention that the gimp cuts off in weird spots, and none of that is noticeable from the outside. So we're gonna have to say, honestly, like 3 out of 10, which is one of my lowest craftsmanship ratings I've done. But I haven't made a doublet for him before. This is actually the first piece of clothing I've made for him. I'm not beating myself up over it, but it ain't getting a good rating. The next one will be better because I was looking at the pattern and there's literally no reason for these flaps to be a separate pattern piece. So I'm gonna redesign the pattern to have it'll be a 3-piece pattern. The fit is good. The way it fits on him is, I think, very good, and I'm not going to change the core pattern, just a little bit of the construction. So next we have composition. That's going to grade kind of how well the whole thing works together, all the different pieces. So we'll bring the hat back on screen. Composition, I'll say I'm gonna add a big cream colored feather to match the veil on my Scophion in the hat, and when that's added, I will say that it's gonna get like 6 out of 10. The yellow laces, comment below what you think about these yellow laces. I was gonna switch to brown, but I couldn't get any in time. And I was like, maybe they work, but I think they're a little too neon. Maybe cream or brown laces for the side. Leave your vote in the comments for what color. If you've made it this far, thank you very much for watching. I definitely appreciate your viewership. I've been getting a steady increase in subscribers, and I couldn't be more grateful. This is like my true passion in life, is costumes and all things fantasy, and I think this is going pretty well. Let me know what you think of the costume, what else you'd like to see from me. I do have a very exciting project for next week, so tune in next time for that, and have a great rest of your day. I'm spinning in a circle, like how I do it. Yeah.